up, guys?
What's going on, everybody? We don't have much time to do an intro because we've got a lot to talk about today.
Episode 5. We're going to go ahead and hop right into it. But
before we do start, you want to say it or you want me to say it?
Yeah, first off, remember to check us out on all the other platforms. We got Rumble.
We got Spotify.
We got, of course, YouTube.
We got Anchor.
We got Twitter.
We got Instagram. And we got True Social.
True Social. I forgot about that last
Yeah.
one. Check us out on it. All Johnson Express.
Soon to be Apple Podcast if somebody will get us signed up.
We'll get all that.
We're having issues with that. Hopefully
that's
this will be the first episode on Apple Podcasts. I hope so.
So today, as you can tell by the title, and as we've put out on our social medias a couple times, we're talking about
the Biden crime family.
The Bidens. Don't we love them? Don't we love them?
Well, some people love them more than others. But I will say that they definitely have an interesting story to them. We gotta start at the beginning. We gotta start at the head. We gotta start right at the top
with the daddy. We gotta start with Joe.
We're gonna start off with Joe Robinette Biden Jr. Most of you know him as the 47th former Vice President of the United States of America. Some of you other ones like to acknowledge him as the 46th President and current President of the United States. But, I mean, let's not get into all of the details there. But we're going to tell you some things that you don't know about him besides just his presidential history. So, on December 18th, I'm sorry, I'm jumping down. I'm sorry.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
I'm getting ahead of myself, man. Like I said, I need them glasses. Joe Biden was born on November 20th, 1942 in Scranton, Pennsylvania. He began his political career at only 27 years old.
Yeah, that's pretty young.
So maybe here in a few years, me and you need to start looking at our political future.
We got a couple of years, so yeah, maybe.
But yeah, at 27, he won a seat in the Newcastle County Council. It's a small county in Delaware. He ran as a Democrat. And just 2 years after winning this seat, he unseated Republican James Caleb Boggs and became a senator of the United States from Delaware, obviously. And he stayed a senator all the way up until his 2009 campaign with Barack Obama.
Yep.
It's crazy.
So he was a senator for how many years was that? Math? Help us out here.
Math, yeah. Give me just a second.
What year? So
we'll do 1942 plus 27 plus... I don't know how many years, man. That's a lot.
72.
A lot of years. He was reelected 6 times. What are term limits for Senate for them? I mean, what are their term years? Like 6 years, I think.
6 years. So that's 42 years.
Golly, man, that would have been a whole lot easier to just start off with.
Yeah, that'd been a lot better. So.
God, 42 years as a senator, man. That's wild. But I mean, it reflects. Look at what he's talking about now.
Yeah.
Or I guess try to figure out what he's talking about now.
Shaking hands with ghosts, doing all this type of stuff.
True to national pressure.
So we know that he's got something wrong with him now. But what about some of his early days? What was it like? What was his lifestyle?
Well, let's start off with his wife. His first wife,
yeah. Make sure you put that.
So this is an important story from back when I think this was back when Hunter was first born, or around the time Hunter was first born. He was a few years old. But his wife, Joe Biden's first wife, was going on a Christmas trip with her 2 sons and their newborn daughter, Naomi. So this would be Bo, Hunter, and Naomi. And she drove straight into the path of a tractor trailer. She wasn't paying attention. I think reports said that she was at a stop and was, looking, and she had her head turned, and as she started to go, she didn't see it, and just ran directly into the path of the tractor trailer. She was headed up Route 7 in Hockessin, Delaware. Now, this car crash killed her and the 1-year-old daughter, but Bo and Hunter both survived. They were critically injured, but they both survived. Maybe that's got something to do with what's wrong with him now, to be honest with you.
Maybe. It did do brain damage, I'm pretty sure, on Hunter.
No, it had to.
Yeah.
And apparently, this is according to a source on Wikipedia, so I don't know how much I trust it. But apparently, Joe Biden wanted to step down from his position because this happened right before he was inaugurated, or would that be inaugurated into the Senate?
He was inaugurated.
Or sworn in, whatever you would say. Yeah. But he was supposedly persuaded not to by the Senate Majority Leader at the time, Mike Mansfield. And that sounds a little weird to me. I mean, if it was me, I probably would have stepped down to take care of my family like he initially thought.
Yeah.
So that's a little weird. Maybe a little bit of corruption from other politicians trying to drag him into something. I don't believe Joe Biden went into this with the intent of being.
Oh no, he went
a corrupt
probably
person.
being change America for the better.
Yeah.
But another fun fact about it I saw and I heard. So when Hunter and Bo were little, and Joe would be on the floor doing stuff in the Senate, another senator would have Hunter and Bo in his office, just like sitting around, watching them while they're playing with toys. So they pretty much grew up around politics, in politics their whole life.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool.
That's gotta be
pretty cool.
That's gotta be a crappy.
That's probably about the only light of Hunter Biden.
That's got to be a crappy lifestyle, man. Can you imagine your entire life being nothing but Senate hearings and sitting in a room with somebody that's not even your dad playing with toys, just sitting there watching?
Never really having a close relationship with your father.
That sucks. Wild, man.
That sucks.
But yeah, like I said, from this car crash, Hunter and Bo both survived. Although Bo did pass away, I think it was in 2009 from brain cancer. And we'll talk about that when we get into Hunter Biden because that caused him some major issues. But as far as Joe Biden goes, I believe this is when all the corruption first began. I believe this is kind of what drug him downhill, and I believe this is what started the entire.
Even though he was in the early life, it was the beginning of the end.
Yeah. I believe this was the entire start of the whole Hunter Biden thing too, and his daughter Ashley doesn't seem to be any better. We'll get into her later.
The whole family, dude. Besides Bo. Pretty messed up.
Well, I think he was pretty messed up too, wasn't he? Maybe not. I don't know much about Bo.
No.
This video is specifically going to touch on Joe, Ashley, and Hunter.
Yep.
So just point that out there. Which we found a lot of crazy stuff. It's really hard to believe. But let's get into some more things that Joe Biden specifically has done rather than just his past in a car crash. So he dropped out of the 1988 race due to plagiarism. He supposedly plagiarized JFK and other major politicians in a college essay at Syracuse, and this blew up in his face and caused him to have to drop out of the race. He's been a known racist since the 70s. He opposed integration of schools in the 70s. He's also been known to say very racist things. I mean, here's a few quotes. I'll read them out. This is back when he was running against Barack Obama before he became, or before he was introduced.
Running for the Democratic nominee?
This was in 2008 when he was running for the Democratic, kind of party, whatever.
Okay.
He said, you've got the first mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean and a nice looking guy.
Wow, that's pretty pretty disrespectful.
That's I don't see how Obama could let him be his vice president after that. That's a little wild. That's a little, I don't know, that's a little touchy.
Well, probably gave Joe something they gave Joe pretty much the ability to do nothing, because that's pretty much what he did when he was vice president.
Yeah,
he did nothing.
Well, Obama didn't do much either.
Nothing good if he did do anything.
He made a few more racist comments, as he was a senator. All throughout his entire political career, he said stuff like, "You cannot go into a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts without a slight Indian accent." And he chuckled at this. I think you've seen this video. And he's just like, "You can't."
Yeah.
And he thought it was a good joke. And, to be honest, it is a funny joke. Let the guy, give the guy a break. But don't come at us and call us racist when the guy that's running your political party is saying stuff like this. He said poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, you ain't black.
I think everybody's heard that quote. Yeah.
Unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community.
Dude, this guy, people voted for this guy?
Yeah,
that's
man.
Crazy.
I can't wrap my head around that, man. That's just wild. If he had said, imagine he said this instead. Unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the white community is an incredibly diverse community. That would have enraged the entire left.
Oh yeah. How dare you say
One
that?
slip up and that would have enraged the entire left. But it's the Latinos. It's okay. It's okay. We're talking about Latinos here. We need to let them know that they're diverse. But screw the African Americans.
Yeah.
Your culture is nothing. Oh my gosh.
So here's another fun fact. I'm looking at this right here on Wikipedia. I didn't know this. I don't know if you did. This might be what's wrong with Joe, people. In February of 1988, after several episodes of severe neck pain, he was taken in an ambulance to Walter Reed Army Medical Center for surgery to correct a leaking intracranial berry aneurysm. So he had like an aneurysm. Then he had another aneurysm that May.
Oh, yeah, that's in his medical documents.
Which kept him out of the center for 7 months. So he had 2 surgeries, which is on his brain.
I didn't know he had surgeries, though.
He had 2 surgeries. That's pretty crazy.
I've seen the aneurysms. I've even heard speculations, and I don't know how true these are. I haven't looked into them, but I've heard them. Mm-hmm. I've heard speculations that Jill will like go around and give him like pills for either for that.
Oh, wow.
But some people speculate it's for dementia.
Now?
Yep.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know how true that is. Yeah. It was a glimpse of something I heard on the internet. I'm not gonna, attest to it. Yeah. But I was like, wow, I might need to do some research into that. But I had my hands too full with this at the time. But yeah, if you're curious about that, go look up Joe Biden popping pills for dementia, because that's the story that I want to hear about. One last thing before we kind of move on, unless he has more things to add.
Okay.
Joe Biden also supported the Iraq War, which is something that Hillary Clinton and himself both lost for in 2008. I mean, obviously, Joe Biden had a lot more things that he lost for. It came down to Hillary Clinton and all that. But when they both have these same ideologies and lose, I don't even know where I'm going with that. That's just wild. That him and Hillary Clinton think the exact same way, both lost, and now all of a sudden something's changed.
Yeah, it's so weird whenever people end up, when they lose like that, they just change the other side or another way of thinking, like really, really quick. I don't understand that.
And when people are just like, okay, yeah, we didn't vote for him then because of this, but now it's okay. That's just wild. Barack Obama actually won, supposedly, in 2008 and 2009 for this.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he had in opposition, he said that it was an immoral and an illegal war. A lot of people kind of, ran to him for that. And I think that's a lot of the reason he got elected. But, I mean, obviously, we don't know what each individual American thinks.
No, we're all different. Half of us don't even vote. More than half of Americans don't vote in elections.
Unfortunately. But that is a weird thing to take away, is that, why did they support these wars? I mean, that's a completely different corrupt situation, but the fact that
that's a whole episode.
Yeah, the fact that the Clintons kind of, I don't know, whenever I saw that name Hillary Clinton and the Iraq War, when I saw that, I knew there was a correlation, just because of more of the stuff we're going to tell you later on, specifically about Hunter.
Okay.
But yeah, admittedly, none of these are crimes. They're more, kind of acts and tasks of, corruption. It's kind of things that you wouldn't want to see from your political leader, but they're not crimes. We don't really get into the crimes until we get to Ashley and Hunter, which is what we're going to get into now.
Okay. Well, before we close out on Joe, I got one last thing. So as of now, Joe signed that bill a couple weeks ago about Roe v. Wade and protecting women's rights in a way, I guess. But 40 years ago, in 1982, he proposed a amendment that would overturn Roe v. Wade and would allow states to choose their own policies. Now, a lot can change in 40 years, but as we went over some of the past about Joe Biden, he's been on, I wouldn't say the right side, but he's been pretty smart with a lot of stuff until recently.
Mm-hmm. He's actually kind of Republican in values. I mean,
he was, especially.
Especially when you want to call Republicans white supremacists. Hell, he was wanting to segregate schools in the 1970s. I mean,
there's a lot that switches with these people.
This guy was like a big-time conservative and big-time racist. Like,
it's crazy.
He's exactly what the left calls every Republican.
Yeah, but he was quoted as a Democrat.
And that's kind of what I was trying to get into with the whole Hillary Clinton thing and supporting the Iraq War, is like, it's like they were getting something from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to talk later about the Clinton campaign funding a lot of stuff for Hunter, and it just gets into a big jumble mess out. But seeing those names pop up so frequently and so regularly together just really freaks you out in terms of corruption. That's why I said, they're not really crimes, but there's something corrupt going on behind the scenes. So let's talk about Ashley Biden's diary. I actually let John take this topic for the day.
That was our boy Joe. So we're going to get into Ashley Biden. Ashley Biden is the daughter of Hunter. Ashley is the daughter of Joe and Jill Biden. So Joe's second wife. This is their only child. She was born on June 8th, 1981 in Wilmington, Delaware.
Now, she is known for having, drug abuse, right?
Oh, yeah, drug abuse. Apparently, she was filmed snorting cocaine in the early 2000s. She was arrested in the early 2000s for obstructing a police officer. So, she's not clean either. She's corrupt just like Hunter and all the rest of them. Whatever. But
she belongs in Columbia with them Gamecock fans, man. You know what I'm talking about?
We'll be right back.
John's a Gamecock fan. I gotta mess with him on that.
So as of recently, people have found out about the diary that she's written. And this goes into her childhood a little bit, where from one of her diary entries, she wrote, and I quote, "I remember having sex with friends at a young age. Showers with dad, Joe Biden, probably not appropriate," in parentheses. So her childhood was not like my childhood or Mason's childhood. It was filled with a lot of
hypersexualization.
Yeah, drugs probably. Just very, very weird stuff. And it messes with her. It messes with children's mind. It probably messes with her mind.
Wow.
That is no kidding, the way she is.
Wow. So I want to say that this is something that I found when I did a little bit of research into the diary. The diary was supposedly, and I don't know if this is true, I wasn't there, I can't confirm, but according to glamour.com, the diary was passed around a Trump fundraiser in Florida at the home of a donor.
We got this Ashley Biden diary right here.
And this was reportedly ahead of the 2020 presidential election. So this and the Hunter Biden laptop were both before the presidential election. Why are we just learning about them now?
And guess what they were? They were covered up
by the FBI and the CIA and the NSA and anybody. Well, the national
anybody that controlled the way stuff gets out. So Ashley, not a good growing up, not a healthy childhood. Another one of her entries says, about sex. I know it's not the healthiest way to deal with things, but at least it's better than drugs.
Yeah, and
she got a point.
Yeah, I guess. Doesn't she go on to say that she needs it in order to feel good?
She said she needs to have sex to feel good. So it's it is like a drug to her.
It's like a treat for her.
It's really weird.
It says that this article that I was reading about it being passed around, the fundraiser, says that this was originally reported by the New York Times. So I'm sure it has some validity to it being that big of a news source. But it also says that Biden, it says 40, so I'm assuming this is when he was 40 years old, because he's definitely not that now. It says that he had been keeping her diary during the period she was seeking treatment for her addiction. So he knew about this diary. And instead of doing something with it, I guess he kept it for a fetish or something.
Yeah, so
I wonder if he even read it. I wonder if it even went across his mind to say, I wonder what my addicted daughter and drug abusing daughter and sex abusing daughter is.
He probably remembers what he did to her when she was little, and if he's like, a diary, she definitely wrote about me and something in it. So apparently a week before one of the debates running up to the 2020 election, he called Ashley and was crying, saying, I have a debate next week, and this diary thing is now, he pretty much has to worry about it now. So,
well, that's his deal, because the conservative group Project Veritas went on to buy the diary for $40,000. $40,000.
It's worth the money.
Yeah, I mean, wow. We're journalists, I guess, to that extent that we have a public podcast and we express our opinions. But we don't have that kind of money. I'm just so glad that somebody out there does, and they're using it for the people's gain and not some sort of political gain for once.
Yeah, I mean, Project Veritas, if they weren't like the way they were, they could have just bought it and kept it hidden like everybody else did.
Yeah, and they have exposed so many Republicans and Democrats. People say that they're liberal.
That's the way we want it to be.
Yeah. I want to know whoever the hell is going and spending my tax money for stuff that I don't think it should be spent for. No taxation was that without representation. That was the whole thing that we fought for.
Yeah, why are we trying to change it up now?
Yeah,
it's been working. Why change it up?
I don't know, man.
But about Ashley, I mean, she seems like a pretty smart girl. Seems like she did good for herself, besides the cocaine and stuff like that. But
obviously, she's doing good for herself if she can afford that expensive crap.
Apparently, she's a fashion designer, a social worker, an activist.
So she needs to be hanging out with Hunter because he wants to be an artist.
She was creative.
Maybe it's got something to do with the crack.
Probably. She was an executive director of the Delaware Center for Justice.
Say that one more time.
She was the executive director of the Delaware Center for Justice.
Wow.
So I guess that's helping people.
We are all over the place, by the way. It is 10:15 p.m. and both of us.
I'm sleepy.
Yeah, it's a little bit tired. So we're trying for you.
I mean, this is a lot of stuff, though. I mean,
this is a lot of stuff to get into.
The good parts and the bad parts, but there's a lot of more bad than there is good. But trying to mix it together.
Yeah, trying to
make them look like somewhat good people, but they're not.
I don't know. I think my buddy Jack might be onto something. I think they're all just underground lizard people that are out to eat us.
Jesus.
They might be, man. Hell, at this point, look at all this stuff, dude.
That's a lot, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm not saying that they're lizard people, but I think
I don't know. I haven't seen one, so I don't believe in one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just messing around with that.
Yeah.
So let's go on to Hunter. You want to go on to Hunter?
So we've been through Joe, Ashley. That was real quick. You thought that was bad?
Yeah, there's not much on Ashley other than the fact that the diary was only a few pages.
We might not even went through Ashley if that diary wouldn't have got leaked. So.
Yeah, no kidding. And not to mention that the FBI and the CIA have hidden up so much. You can't uncover all of it.
No.
It's hard to try to piece these together and get dates right and everything. That's why we're always so over the place. We hope that you can forgive us for that.
Yeah, but now we bring in Mr.
Robert Hunter Biden. He was born on February 4th, 1970 in Wilmington, Delaware, and he was born just after Joe Biden graduated from law school at Syracuse and began his political career. Now, I'm not sure if this was at the same time that he was on the Newcastle County Council or if this was at the same time that he was running for the Senate.
I think it was a little bit before.
I think it was. I think it was just a little bit before that, right before he began any political career at all. Later on in life, Hunter decides to follow his dad, and he attends Syracuse, which is the same school that his dad attended. Yep. But instead of going for his law degree like Joe went for, he went for a creative arts. It was a creative writing program. That's what it was.
Uh-huh.
But he did want to start a law degree. However, he was rejected from Syracuse.
Okay, so he went to Georgetown for his law degree
for a year.
Yeah, which is I looked it up. I didn't know how he was going to manage two schools. They're only about 30 miles apart. So he goes down the highway. He's at Georgetown. Back down, he's at Syracuse.
Yeah, so he had options.
Not too bad.
Man, I wonder how he scheduled his classes for that, because stuff like that's hard even in high school.
Yeah, I bet he had to get through it snorting for cocaine. So
yeah,
there we go.
I guess so. That's probably when he started.
Probably.
So only 1 year after he was accepted and he was going through this program at Georgetown, he decided he wanted to transfer, and of all places, Yale. And he got accepted, too.
Now, Yale is one of the most prestigious schools in the country. Am I right? We'll look this up.
One of the most. It's the most.
Oh, it is? Oh, it's better than Harvard.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Harvard is twice as easy to get into as Yale. So just mind that when he tells you
look at these statistics. They allow 200 new kids to come in each year. But Hunter transferred. So they only allow 10.
They have 200 slots. What that means is they have 200 slots for new students every year, and this doesn't include transfers at all. So only 200 kids per year, new students, are accepted into Yale. That means not a lot.
Small percentage.
Yeah, not a lot at all. And just to add on top of that only 10 transfers every year. They only have 210 students total per year coming into this school, and Hunter Biden is in the smallest minority of these.
He's in that 10?
Yeah, he's in that 10.
10.
He was transferred. He's transferred from Georgetown. I think that's ridiculous. You have to be
he
the
had to
top
have a little
of the
bit
top.
of help, right?
Oh yeah, had to have.
Oh yeah,
had to have. Supposedly, the Clinton administration persuaded the dean of Yale.
There they are.
Yeah.
I'm
so,
back at it.
like I said, the Clintons were going to come up a few times in here, and there's a few more times later on. I think that they've been involved in the Biden corruption since the Senate Majority Leader Mike Mansfield persuaded Joe Biden to kind of stay in the Senate race after his children were in a car wreck and his wife died.
My boy Bill.
Yeah, I think that's when it started. I think that they probably started playing mind games on Joe Biden right there. I think they let him kind of do his thing for the first few years, and then
he was young. He was easily manipulated.
They were Clinton's.
Probably what it is.
They were Clinton snatched, man.
Yeah, it was.
They were either do what you're told or get suicided.
Suicide.
I'm serious, man. They was gonna get Jeffrey Epstein.
You can't kill yourself.
Huh?
You can't shoot yourself in the back 5 times. You kidding me, dude? You kidding me?
Hey, man.
Hold on, man.
But they were gonna do it.
Oh, don't. They might come get us.
They might, dude. Dude, it's not hard to find us.
Nah, it's not too hard.
I'm gonna be scared one day when somebody comes and breaks in that door.
It's just glass, so and we're sitting here with.
Yeah, but it's bulletproof. It's fine. Maybe. Wow. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, man. What are we gonna do one day if somebody hears us talking about this and they're just like, well, yep, them 2 kids need to go.
We are in church. We are in church.
Yeah, I guess.
We're protected.
Thanks for giving out our location.
So he got transferred into Yale. Finished his
God, out of 10 people.
Finished his law degree at Yale.
Yeah, he graduated in 1996. And right after that, he returned home.
Went back home to Daddy.
Yeah, he went back home to his I guess, really his entire family. But he went back home to his wife and their daughter, Naomi, which was so weird. It was weird. His deceased sister's name. Now, I wouldn't personally name my child after my deceased sister. No. Maybe some people would, but I think that that's a little creepy. But anyways, yeah. So 1996, he graduated, went home to his daughter and his wife and the whole family. And, a few years after he returned home, he started working as the deputy campaign manager for his father. And he also started working, I don't know if he was exactly a lawyer, but I know he did law, like, related things for a bank called MBNA America.
And guess what?
What's that?
They were the largest donor that year to his dad's Senate campaign. So he started working there. And then they become the largest donor for his daddy.
Wow. Coinkydink or no?
Coinkydink.
Yep. Something doesn't add up there. A little bit more corruption to fuel the fire for you. So, if that wasn't enough for you, after the death of his brother and the divorce of his wife, he began heavily drinking. And this is something he was known for in the past. He had several drinking problems. I don't know if he was ever addicted to any substances, but I know that it's been reported that he had a lot of, mental health issues.
I know that one time when he was working at that bank holding in Delaware, he was taking a train somewhere and he started drinking behind his wife's back. And one night he missed the train back home because he was so messed up. He just slept at the train station.
No, hey, that works, man. Just sleep on a bench. I guess you can sleep under the bench. You can use it as a blanket.
Sure. Or homeless man. That's a blanket. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Hey, man, you got some crack? Oh, yeah. And could you be my blanket, too?
That's a lot, dude.
Wow, man.
So she found out she wasn't very happy.
Yeah, and then this is when his addiction even further escalated. Unfortunately for him, I guess. And this is where the Clintons come back into play. So
welcome back.
So after all of these years of Hunter, suffering and all this, the Clintons eventually ask him to do things for them. He's on the board of several foreign and domestic companies that the Clintons are on the board of. He helped them. Did he help them? Did he help Hillary Clinton in her campaign? I'm pretty sure I read something about that.
Look it up.
But yeah, after all of these, addiction but all of these addiction problems started happening with him, the Clintons tried to help him out. And like I said, he was on the board of several companies, foreign and domestic, and most of them were corrupt. One of them was Burisma, which is one that we'll get into here in just a minute, which came up on his laptop. Now, before we discuss the laptop, I want to say that the laptop was dropped off at a store on May 12th, 2019. And after leaving it, after exceeding the 90-day holding period that the shop had on a work order that Hunter Biden signed, and we have that, after that 90 days, the owner decided to keep the laptop, and that's when stuff started to go downhill. So let's hear what you got to say about the Clinton campaign.
He didn't work with the Clinton campaign.
Okay.
What it was, I thought so. I didn't know. Found out. 2006, he was George W. Bush was the president at the time. He appointed Hunter to the Amtrak board of directors as a gesture of bipartisanship. Now, what is the Amtrak board of directors?
I remember hearing about that as well. So, Amtrak's board of directors. How do you spell Amtrak?
Amtrak.
Oh, Trak. So, I knew it was probably spelled weird. So Amtrak is looks like is it a busing thing?
It's like a...
Yeah, it's a railroad.
It's a railway. Okay.
Maybe this is where he got caught sleeping outside.
This is probably, yeah.
What the heck? They have an Amtrak near us.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And both of these are...
It's a passenger rail corridor. Oh, okay. So it's just a way to travel.
Yeah, it's just a rail system.
So he was pretty much in charge of the traveling of Amtrak. I guess.
I believe this was the start of the Clintons trying to help him out when it came to his addictions and stuff, and trying to get him back on the right track, trying to keep him off of addiction. And I believe this was also after a few years of therapy too, and calming his addictions down. But this was a result of his addictions, I'm almost certain of. I wish I could pull that up and confirm it, but I can't.
So before we get back to almost present day of him with the laptop thing, I didn't know this. Did you know that he joined the Naval Reserve in May of 2013?
I did not.
He
was dishonorably discharged.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I remember.
Because of what? Guess what?
I don't remember.
Because of what?
Probably for crack. Cocaine. Yeah, I knew it, man.
Yeah,
I knew it had to be something.
He had to take a drug test, and somehow he got past the drug test, and then I guess a year, I guess it was every year you get drug tested. So the next year in 2014, he was let go because he tested positive for cocaine.
Golly, man. I wonder how long those tests span.
And then Bo, I don't know. Then Bo died in 2015. His brother.
Yeah.
Okay,
so it wasn't 2009.
I'm sorry.
I was wrong. I'll be the first to admit to you I was wrong. I've learned a lot of stuff doing this.
It's really hard. Like I said, we tried to go the right way with the steps, but with this family and stuff, it's you get thrown back. And
well, I'll say it's not even the family; it's the coverage by the media.
Okay, yeah,
it's extreme. Well, yeah, obviously it is the family. The family has a very complex, complicated story.
It's the way stuff's released. I guess.
And then you've got to uncover stuff that you shouldn't have to uncover. That's been covered up for reasons that we don't even know. It's we have all these corrupt stories that we are able to present you and show you proof, but there's so much more that we don't have.
I don't know.
And it's kind of hard to piece these stories together without almost making up some BS along the way, which we try not to do.
Not to make up BS, but I feel like
we just have to kind of connect the dots the best we can. So that's why we jump around a lot.
Yeah.
I want to get into this laptop. We have several pictures to go over, and then it's almost 10:30. I'm ready to end the night. So let's get into these pictures. Like I said. I'm going to show you this work order again. It should have popped up earlier in the podcast, but here's the work order. You can see that in the middle section, it's been signed by Hunter Biden. So this laptop was dropped off on
April 12th,
2019. It says in this work order.
That was the one laptop.
This is the one laptop. It says item number, labor, description, hardware level 1. Unit price $85, extension $85, total $85. Grand total $85. For those of you who can't read it, and then in the middle section there is a signature that is Hunter Biden's signature. So, okay. What does this mean? This means that Hunter Biden dropped his laptop off at a Mac store on April 12, 2019 and paid $85 to have it fixed. Now, why is that important? It's important because he left it there. He left it there for
over 90 days.
Over 90 days, not to mention had been called about it and emailed about it several times and just didn't answer.
So after 90 days, those, like when you sign a contract like that, after 90 days, it becomes their property. And then what happened was it's theirs now.
Yeah,
they go and look into it. and they that's uncover. When the magic happens. It's just one thing after another. I mean, I would have loved to seen the guy's face.
Yeah. What? Dude.
Man, I would shut down the store for the rest of the day.
There were thousands and thousands and thousands of files that this guy could have went through. And
these are been the one
these are just the main one we have. I mean, we have pictures of Hunter Biden smoking crack. We have a picture of him lighting up a crack bowl. We have a picture of him being straddled by 2 women. We've even got a video of Hunter Biden smoking crack while getting a foot job.
We're going to play that for you real quick.
We're going to play that for you right now.
How long have you been doing that? I've been doing it for 9 years. We got one kid that came out of my league that plays for the Denver Broncos.
Look at that. That is totally professional. Literally. Look at that. I haven't seen that on there.
So amazed right now.
If that wasn't interesting enough for you,
man, that foot was going to work.
That foot
was going to work, man.
I mean, we've got pictures of his 4.5. What does it say? 4.5.
I don't know. I don't want to try to figure out how much that stuff weighs, but he's got some crack on this scale right here.
4.5 grams, 4 grams of crack, and these rocks are like this big. Wow. I wonder if this was what he was selling or if this is what he was doing. I don't know.
What about there was a video. See if I can pop it up, if I can find it. It was the video where he was arguing about how much crack was on the scale with that prostitute, I suppose it was. And he was getting mad. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
That's a new leak. So, we'll get into the Hunter Biden laptop here in just a minute because it's got a lot of stuff. But to go along with the crack that Hunter does, his 4chan, I'm sorry, not his 4chan, his Apple account, his Apple...
that's what it was off of?
Yeah, it was his iCloud got hacked by an internet, hacking group. Not really a hacking group, but, they're the ones that do, the software glitches for iPhones.
Okay.
You know, the jailbreaks and stuff. Yeah. So this website, this group is called 4chan, and they supposedly grabbed these contents directly from Hunter Biden's iCloud. And they were released, I don't know what news sources released them, but I know for a fact that they were released on Truth Social at DC Drano. DC_Drano. And I'm going to go down. I'm going to get all of these for you because these are great. First off, ew.
What's that? All right, we're going to play for that. We're going to play that clip of
2 Women's of the Year.
Hunter fussing about it right now.
Right now.
So I just laid out the bag. It's 2.06.
2.07 without the bag.
So how long is...
That man was pretty much he's vlogging his whole life on his phone.
I'll pull this picture up now.
Daily life.
This is a meme also from DC Drano, and it's a picture of a guy, looks like a military guy, and he's got a whole shit ton of cameras on him, and it says Hunter Biden anytime he's doing something illegal or something like that. I'll see if I can find that and pop it up. It's hilarious.
I need to download Truth Social.
Yeah, you need to, man.
Yeah, because this is I like looking at Hunter, man.
Yeah, man, you won't find
He's got the crack. I'm gonna put that up. He's just got the crack pipe.
Yeah, man, he's just he loves his crack, man. He loves his dope. And who is this?
He's got his finger in that girl's mouth.
Oh.
Well, that's her finger.
Yeah. Her middle finger.
Nice.
Don't even know who that is. I'll screenshot all these and send them to you, John. John edits our videos. Hopefully he'll put all these up on the screen. Here's a text message. Hunter Biden apparently had Joe Biden listed in his contacts list as Pedo Peter. Wow.
Whoa.
And oh, dude, it's even got a phone number there. You want to try to call it? Oh, you can't. I'm going to try to call this number real quick. So for anybody watching, the number is +1 302 358
Joe Biden answers the phone right now on podcast.
7161.
What will be the most famous podcast out there?
The number you dialed is not a working number.
Dang. That sucks.
They were ahead of the tracks.
You want to try to call Joe Biden's number? Or are you pretty sure it's going to? I'm pretty sure it's going. Not even going to try. So this is a text message from Jill in a group chat of Jill, Hunter, and Joe, and then that's when they found out that his contact name was Pedo Peter. Wow, that's crazy. Why would you name your dad's contact Pedo Peter?
Well, he knows what his dad really is.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think we all really know what he is.
Yeah.
It says, wait, Hunter Biden was receiving payments in excess of $1.2 million from Ukraine and Romania? What was he doing in Romania? So these are, in 2013, your taxes reported, and this is a whole bunch of income stuff. And this is in...
Be sure to pull all this stuff up.
Wow, man. I'm going to just pop these up on the screen for you. I'm going to let you read them off because this is too much for us to really get into. We just want to talk about his crack addiction, man.
So that was his crack thing and all the videos he took. I'll let Mason get back into the whole laptop thing and what really happened with that.
I got one more thing from the 4chan exposure, and then we'll be done. So
one more video?
This video is 2 minutes and 19 seconds long, one that you likely haven't seen, which is the only reason I'm going to play it.
All right, here we go.
In 3, 2, whenever it wants to play. Come on now. See, this is another thing that sucks, is we can't ever get consistent stuff in here, man.
What? Strictly for live men, not for freshmen. If you ain't got the clientele, say hell no, cause they gon' want their money, rain, sleet, hell, snow. Follow these rules, you'll have mad bread to break up. If not, 24 years on the wake up. Slug hit your temple, watch your frame shake up. Caretaker did your makeup. When you pass, your girl fuck my man Jacob.
There's more on that 4chan leak than I thought there was. That we might have to do a whole separate Hunter Biden laptop video, Hunter Biden video in general.
That was weird.
But
I don't like that.
I definitely want to discuss more of how corrupt it is because going back to the laptop, dismissing all the drugs, dismissing the 4chan, dismissing all the women, there was still corruption going on behind the scenes, in part that he was on several boards that the Clintons were on, including this company called Burisma. And I believe this was an oil distribution company. Can you pull that up for us? I could be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong on that. That doesn't even make sense. How do you spell Burisma? Burisma. And this is an email, and it's from Eric Sherwin.
It's a group of energy exploration and production companies. It's in it's in Ukraine. It's a natural gas market. It produces natural gas in Ukraine. Okay, I'm gonna pull this up so you guys see this. It founded in 2002.
Oh wow! So I believe that the guy that was emailing him went missing.
No, I'm not surprised.
Who is Eric Schwerin, or however you pronounce his last name? Schwerin. I'm sorry. And it says that he is missing, according to Google's most researched stuff. But
so this is what Trump ended up getting in trouble for about the Hunter Biden thing, because before the 2020 election, Trump was on the phone with Ukraine about trying to get them to investigate Hunter Biden because
he got impeached for it.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what he was impeached for, because they thought he was trying to, intrude with something to mess with the election. But no, he was trying to figure out what was going on with Joe's son. And I'm getting kind of mad because I don't know why the media is trying to go against America. I don't understand that.
There's one of my favorite songs. It's called "Divide and Conquer," and there's a reason. Not a reason that it's my favorite song, but there's a reason people use that term, and it's you're looking at it right now. We're so divided in this country. Like even on Truth Social, I have to go on there and correct conservatives a lot because they're spewing just as much BS as some people from the left, and it's like, why can't we just all look at the truth? Why can't we stop saying Trump this, Trump that? Biden this, Biden that.
Trump. Let's just America.
Let's point out the real corruption rather than a couple of photos that don't matter. Let's point out the real corruption and let's focus on the real stories. That's what makes this so hard.
I like Trump and I like the Republicans, but I don't want to sit here and pee ride them. Yeah. They don't do everything right either.
Yeah. I'm not some Trump praiser. I don't like to think I am. I like to think that he's a morally good person, and I think he changed our economy for the better. And if you think that I'm wrong for that, then that's your opinion. But statistically speaking, it's right. And he's not a good person. He's not. No, I'm not saying he's not a good person. He's not a perfect person.
Grab him by the pussy.
Grab him by the pussy, man. They've got a lot. They've got a lot of stuff on Trump that's bad, but you don't see his son smoking crack.
Sure, but his
daughter being hypersexualized.
His kids are raised well. Even through the marriages that he went through, 3 marriages, I think, all his kids are very well respected. They're well behaved. They're not like rich snobs and spoiled kids like Hunter.
Yeah, and I think that's why I just wish we could all stop focusing on people, because everybody wants to focus on Trump, and then we have to come and say, here you go, look at what Biden did.
Okay, and then they look at us as, you're defending Trump. Yeah. And then, but no, it's just all bad.
That's why I said I'm voting for DeSantis next time, only because of the bad rap that Trump has his name.
Nah. If Trump's running, I'm voting for Trump. But
if he's running against Biden, he's way better than Biden or anybody in the Democratic
Party. I understand what you're saying, though, for the Republican nomination.
For the Republican nomination, I think I'm going to vote for DeSantis.
Okay. But
a lot of people are.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I guess I would be kind of surprised if he won. I don't think he's going to win it, but.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to add for the laptop thing with Hunter Biden?
I mean, other than his, corrupt business deals and his dad getting there. I mean, I'll just flash up all of these pictures and you can look through them yourself. Because for us to go over every single one of them, it'll take us 2.5 hours.
Too much.
But I will say that between his corrupt business deals with being on, the same boards for the same companies that the Clintons were on, not to mention there's emails and text messages of his dad getting a percentage of the cut of the money that he was making from these business deals, all the crack he was smoking, all the prostitutes and hookers he had. There's just so much corruption behind Hunter Biden specifically that I think later on in the future we're going to do a story dedicated to all of this together. But just for quick reference, I hope that we got everything, John. Do you think we got everything?
One last thing about the whole cover-up thing. When the laptop was discovered and they found all this stuff, before the 2020 election, the New York Times, they came out with the story, and media being media, what it is, Facebook and Twitter, they got a hold of it.
I thought it was the New York Post.
What did I say?
Times.
Oh, New York Post.
I think that's what it was.
Okay,
I just want to be specific.
So yeah, New York Post. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah,
you're good.
It's late and we get stuff mixed up.
Facebook fact checked it, and Twitter banned the New York Post for a little while, and then
as well as took down the Post.
Took down the Post, of course,
and didn't put it back up.
Of course, no. And then all news agencies, they said it was Russian collusion. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
They're trying to mess with the election, but then come to find out, after Biden's elected, all of it is
100% real. And who's doing anything about it? Nobody, because the FBI is covering it up. The CIA is making people keep their mouths shut.
And then we circle back all the way to the beginning. The reason we find these things out is because good people with money buy these things. They expose it. And you know what? They're still not doing anything.
Yeah, unfortunately.
They're not going to. But we're still going to sit here and talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, look at 2,000 Mules. They got all the evidence on that. Nobody's looked into election fraud this year. I mean, all we're asking for is for our judicial system and for the media to step up and do their jobs.
Stop taking sides.
Stop taking sides. Stop even taking Trump's side. Newsmax, Fox.
Yeah, Fox. Get off of it.
Don't be a Trump ball licker, okay? Just give us what's truthful. And give us the corruption, as it is. Let us know who's corrupt, who not to trust. And if that's everybody, then, well, screw them.
Tell us the facts. It's just like what we do with this podcast. We tell you stuff, and then you take it with your own opinion, and you believe what you want to believe.
And you do your own research.
That's what the news should be, but it's not. And I don't think it will ever get back to that, sadly.
It's
too far.
It's went from form your own opinions to listen to my opinions or you're a bigot. And
we're too deep. It's too deep.
I don't like living.
It's not going to change.
You don't think so? I mean, we've got the Daily Wire.
Nah.
I don't think Ben Shapiro is a Trump ball licker. Do you?
No, I don't think Matt Walsh is either. And none of the Daily Wire. Let's be honest.
I do like the Daily Wire. Come to think of it, I need to start watching their videos more often.
And they're getting up there, but it's just going to be hard for anybody to get up there with Fox and CNN and MSNBC and ABC. So until...
Well, nobody's going to want to air them.
Yeah.
Who's going to want to air an all-conservative media outlet?
None.
Nobody.
But they're really not. If you they are, but they're not, because they're reporting facts, but because... Man, it's just a lot of repeating ourselves. Because they support the truth, they're bigots.
And that's
what it is nowadays. It all circles back. It all circles back.
If you want to know the truth, if you want to question anything, and you don't believe what somebody tells you straightforward, then all of a sudden you're ignorant or you're against them or something. All we want to do is just give you what we've got. We've showed you the pictures. We've told you what we think about it. We've told you about the corrupt business deals. We've told you about Joe Biden's past. We've told you about the diary that his daughter had that said that she was hypersexualized. What more could you want?
Take it as you want.
And a lot of people say, well, how does this correlate with Joe Biden? Well, when you
raised him.
Well, not even that, but when you get into the business dealings, man.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, he's directly related to it. Just do your own research. And I encourage anybody who's opposing or anybody who's supporting, please comment. Please do your own research. Please comment, because I personally, even if John doesn't want to, I'm going to try to get him to. I want to do a second video on this later on down the road. It may not be for another couple months, but I want to do another video on this because this is a huge topic that's, I think, extremely relevant.
Go deeper into the corruption part,
and I think we can go a little bit deeper.
This is hitting the surface with the honesty.
Yeah, man. So I hope we scratch the surface well enough for you to see inside. But until we break open the glass, we can't give you nothing else. I will say this though: in a few months, I think we're going to do another one.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We'll agree on it right now.
We got it planned. You want to shake on it?
Let's do it. Maybe not even a couple months, couple weeks. Next couple videos, we'll have deeper and better facts on this crazy ass family.
God, man, I don't even know if I want to.
Not that scary, but we're gonna do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, we're going to the Clintons one video too, and also, guys, in the comments, just let us know.
Yeah,
there's not many of you, so just comment any video that you want to see. Chances are it'll get made. We'll change it up. We don't have any scripts written.
We just go
We go with the flow. We type down notes for a couple hours before each video to make sure we've got everything lined up and we're not lying to you.
We still don't.
And we still don't. And we just give you what we got.
Yep.
So don't forget to follow us on Spotify,
Twitter,
anywhere
Instagram,
you get your podcast.
YouTube. Check us out on everything. Share it to your friends. Do your own research.
Share it to people that aren't your friends. Share it to people. If you disagree with us, share it to people that agree with us. If you disagree with us, share it with people that also disagree with us. If you agree with us, share it with people that disagree with us. If you agree with us, share it with people that also agree with us. Just share it with everybody.
Share it with everybody.
Share it with anybody that's breathing.
There you go. All right.
So not Joe Biden voters.
Good episode today, buddy.
Yeah, man. I appreciate having me on here. I like the I'm saying, like, I appreciate us starting this podcast,
This is awesome.
man.
I really love this. 5 episodes in. I'm having a great time. And guess what? The ball is rolling.
I know, right? We're on our 5-episode anniversary. That should mean something. I'm going to get married to this podcast soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. We do appreciate it. Sorry we were all over the place because it's late. But y'all take it easy, and we will be back soon.
Peace out, guys.